Hey, this is Donnie Vaughn of the Marketing Twins. I failed to mention one thing on the last video I did about how to, uh, part two of entering a blog post, and that is how to make the blog post have this read more option here. Again, what we're trying to do is on the blog post is to keep them so that it's not so, we want to have a fair number of blog posts on the site, but we don't want there to be we want to be able to keep them kind of summarized here, and you can read the whole entire blog post by clicking the read more button. So how do we do that? I've got a blog post that we did from Leland. If you'll scroll down to the 25th, here's the one. Now this is not a terribly long one, but just to be consistent, we want to be able to truncate this or put a little read more option, maybe somewhere. Right, it's kind of like a tease. You want to say, it's like this, but that's not the most amazing part. What blew me away was, and then you put the read more, and it gives them a chance to read more. Or we could put it somewhere. It didn't really matter. You can kind of play around with or we can even put it here at the end of the sentence. So how we go about doing that is you find your blog post, and we back up just so you can see what we're doing. You want to go to your dashboard, go to all post, and then from here you should be able to scroll down and find all the different blog posts that you've done. You can see them by date here. You can even do a search if you wanted to based on the title of it. For the most part, you should be able to find it pretty easily. Here is the name of here's Leland's, here's his particular blog post. You can either hit edit or hit the name of the blog post. Either way, just don't hit quick edit, trash, or view. So let's just hit the name of the blog post. That's what I typically like to do. And this is going to bring up the exact thing that you see here, okay? Again, his picture is derived from the fact that we called him the author down here. So in case you're wondering about that again. But let's say that we want to put this thing right after, but that's not the amazing part. Let's have a little fun. So what blew me away was, and put read more. So that would tease somebody to know what comes next. So we're going to go up here and find that part of the sentence, and that's right here. So what blew me away was, and right here we can put our cursor right before the word that. And up here we have all these different icons. And up here, there's this one right here. If you hover over it, it says insert the more tag. That's a fancy way of saying this is where you're going to truncate it. So I'm going to hit that button, and you see it kind of brings up this little thing over here. There's some more over here. Doesn't look that great, but that's the way it's set up to be. Now if we hit update, and you can do this after you publish the blog post and then go back and truncate it with this insert more tag, or you can do it as you go along. I find sometimes that I want to do it after I publish it. But if you refresh your blog, we'll have to scroll down, but you can see now here's his blog post, but now that's the most amazing. What blew me away was, and there's a little tease there to read more. If I click on the read more, then that allows me to, it brings me right to where, kind of brings me right to where I stopped, and you can start reading the rest of the blog post. So that's how we do that, and I failed to mention that earlier, and I wanted to make sure we get that. If you find yourself wanting to change that, you hover over this word more that you can kind of barely see. Click on that, it makes just a little box, and you just delete. I hit my delete key. And then if you want to put it back somewhere else, you just find your spot for it. I'm going to keep it in the same place for this one. And then you update. And again, nothing's really changed because I didn't update. Oh yeah, I'm on the... Let me go back to the blog. This read more only occurs on the blog. If you're on the actual individual blog post, by clicking the title, you won't see this. But it does give you kind of a summary. That's kind of a bad word. It's kind of a shortened version of the blog post, and to read the rest of it, you click there. So hope that helps. Thanks.